Hello and welcome to another edition of the Business Owner Elevation Book Club, where we review the best books when it comes to business, sales and marketing, and some personal development thrown into the mix to make sure that you're taking yourself and your business to the next level. And today we have another amazing book to share with you guys. And for me, this guy, he's broken some records already. He's smashed the game when it comes to marketing online, and he's come back with his second book, his second visit into how entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches and consultants can take their business to the next level. The book I'm talking about today is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, and the subtitle is The Underground Playbook for Creating a Mass Movement of People Who Will Pay for Your Advice. And like I said, it's the second book and second one that he's released in 2 years. And if you didn't catch the previous review, we did review his first book, which was .com Secrets. I believe we have it in the pile here. Is that right? Yeah. So I'm sure Adam can pop up on the screen the episode that we reviewed of .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. But this book is a real powerhouse. Foreword by Robert Kiyosaki, and if you don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, he is famed for the Rich Dad Poor Dad book series. And so there's a lot of clout. I mean, in this previous book, I think the foreword was by Dan Kennedy. So, Russell is really well connected, and he's connected not only because of the people that he knows, but the results and the things that he's done in his career. And he's laid it all out on this book. And for me, it's an amazing book. And I'm going to take you through, first of all, we're going to go through the chapters, the contents. So section 1 is all about creating your mass movement. He looks at things like the charismatic leader, the cause, new opportunity, and opportunity switch. He's got his own language, so he indoctrinates the reader into his types of language, wordage, vocabulary. Section 2 is creating belief and how you can create belief in prospects and people who want and need your help. Section 3 is all about your moral obligation, and this is where he gets you to think about, actually, it's your moral obligation to share your knowledge, your products, your services, and sell it, basically. Section 4 is all about funnels. That's what he's famed and known for now. And he talks about the perfect webinar model, the 4-question close, so how you sell high value. And so there's a really, just great content. And so, as I mentioned, foreword is by Robert Kiyosaki. And even in the previous book, he had great illustrations, diagrams and so on. He's got the same thing again going here. And Robert kicks off the foreword by talking about the cash flow quadrant. If you read Rich Dad Poor Dad 2, I believe that one's all about cash flow quadrant, if my memory serves me well, and I'm sure we'll review that book at some point, where it talks about employee, business owner, self-employed and the investor. And so your job is to get to, if you are a business owner, to the actual true place of being a business owner rather than being self-employed, which the two are different. A business owner, I'll use the definition of a commercial profitable organization that works without me. That's the true definition of a business owner, where you don't actually have to be in your business for it to run successfully. So a lot of great people in his acknowledgements: Perry Belcher, Dagan Smith, Dan Kennedy, Michael Haig, Blair Warren, Jason Fladlian, Armand Morin, lots of great people. And if you know, if you don't know, go Google them, you'll find out. So anyway, he kicks off by talking about the 2 types of expert businesses that exist. You've got the selling information products business, and then you also have the leveraging information products business to help grow an existing company. So it's where maybe even if you're a traditional type of business and you want to create some type of information product, it's a way to leverage that and grow your existing business. So, it's a good way to wrap people in who maybe got a new type of business or a traditional type of business. He then kicks off in section 1 talking about creating your mass movement. So where you start off by having a cause that people can believe in. And the best way for me to kind of explain this is that he wants you to think big first of all, and you start to think big in terms of your business is a movement. It's not just a business that you run and it's small. No, he wants you to think big, and it's a good reason. I mean, if you think of the likes of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King, yes, they were human, they were individuals, but they created mass movements, and it was the belief that they instilled in others, where people then took their vision for themselves, so they took the dream on themselves. And he kicks it off, and I like that about where Russell's thinking is coming from there. He then talks about the charismatic leader and attractive character, and For me, if you've read a book called The Hero of a Thousand Faces, it's a bit of an older book, but you know, that's the geeky side of me where I tapped into some research previously. He wants you to position yourself as the hero. And even if you don't look at yourself as a hero, just bear with me, we'll get into that more. But the key thing is he wants you to look at yourself being the charismatic leader or the attractive character. And that's important if you want people to buy from you, know you, like you and trust you. After that, he then dives into target audiences where he breaks down the 3 core markets that exist. He then goes into sub-markets, and in particular, how you niche down, how you go into a place where you do stand apart, where you go into the specifics of who you serve, your customers. And then if you wanted to take it to the next level, you could probably link this to something like a social pitch or an elevator pitch where you carve out your own niche. It's the kind of who I serve, how I help them, and why I help them type of thing. So, you know, very powerful stuff. And I know there's a lot of people out there who just don't understand niches, how to pick a niche, how to create a niche, which is the key thing. You create your niche. He then moves into who do you need to be as a leader to instill that belief. And as I mentioned earlier, The Hero with a Thousand Faces is a book by Joseph Campbell, so I made notes earlier to make sure I got that one right, where he talks about departure, initiation and return. Think of the great movies that exist out there: Star Wars, Avengers, Rambo. Yeah, they all have this departure section, they have this initiation part of the film and story, and then the return, like the hero returns. This is important because the attractive character, he speaks about and teaches you about the elements, the backstory, the parables, the character flaws, the polarity, so you don't come across like vanilla. You know, you stand out, you are different. And it's important when it comes to marketing because there's so many people who have boring marketing campaigns. He then goes into, in section 2, the cause. So stand apart, be different, you know, have a culture that people adopt. And you know, there's a couple of things, and he talks about help people break their 4-minute mile. So get people to believe that there's something impossible, but it is possible with you. The next part, he then talks about get them to self-identify, so people feel like they belong to a group, you know, something they've self-identified in their characters of who they want to be. And it, you know, he pushes that across. And then he talks about the new opportunity, i.e. your products and services, and how you position that, where it's not just an improvement offer, which some people have, like, you know, improve your Facebook ads, improve your webinar closing, improve this. What he talks about is that create a new opportunity, give them something new, because actually people, to sell people an improvement offer is much more difficult than a new opportunity, because when people see new, it's like new, shiny, yeah, I'll get that. Whereas, you know, take your business, whatever campaign, email marketing, to an extra 3%. It's not really sexy. Whereas if you came up with the secret formula to explode your email campaigns, that's like, ooh, what's this secret formula? So that type of thing. He then goes into copywriting, which he calls the opportunity switch, where he breaks it down into headlines. And then he looks at the 5 curiosity hooks. You know what, just even this part of the book in itself is gold right there, guys. If you're a marketer, this is the book you need to be reading in this day and age. It's as simple as that. And then let's jump forward. So then he talks about the big domino. So really getting to understand what is the big domino that your customers face. This reminds me of The One Thing, which was another book which we reviewed previously on the Business Owner Elevation Book Club, which Adam can put here, or you can put there. Actually, you can put both places, I don't mind. You can deal with the editing afterwards, Adam. And he talks about how the big domino is the one thing that you have to knock down, and you show people how that's possible so that they feel there's hope. He then goes into section 7, where he's talking about the hero's 2 journeys. And this is all about achievement, part 1, results, and then transformation, which is part 2, and the power of storytelling, which I really like. So, you know, Russell's gone deep here. He's not just gone on tactics, he's going into the kind of understanding of what it takes to convince a person when they have this deep desire to move from where they are, place A, to place B, where your products and services are helping them. He then goes into something he calls the Epiphany Bridge script, and it's basically the script he uses to give people an aha moment and the different steps that are integral to convincing somebody, and I'll find them. So it includes the backstory, their desires, their external desires, their internal desires, the war or problem they've hit, the epiphany, the light bulb moment, the plan, what needs to happen, the conflict, so what's ahead, the achievement, so the result, and then the transformation, you know, taking a person to new levels of understanding, from old habits to new habits, old ideas to new ideas. Anyway, so that was the Epiphany Bridge script. Very much a done for you process. He breaks it down so you can literally copy what he's put here to use that for yourself. He then goes into secret 9 false belief patterns, i.e. false beliefs and objection handling, and a lot of people don't understand that, and he breaks this down again, puts it on a plate for people. And then in section 3, your moral obligation, he offers scripts, templates of how you sell from webinar and how you do it confidently and with a structure that works. He goes into something called the stack slide, so I'll give you a bit of an internal shot there. This is really important when it comes to your webinars, guys, understanding the stack. This comes from a guy called Armin Moran. He then lays out the perfect webinar, which is his main conversion method that he teaches people to convert prospects into clients. And then he talks about trial closes, how you convince along the way. You get the micro yeses of commitment, and most of these are generally subconsciously done. So finally, he wraps up with section 4, and he introduces the perfect webinar model, how you do your webinars, when, what day of the week, when you promote, when you follow up. So it's very cool, breaks it all down for you. Very powerful book, guys, and you know, like any good marketer, there is a conclusion, and he draws you to go find out more about ClickFunnels, which is his main product. Now, for me, this is a very powerful book, so much so I actually turned this book into my own personal 100-page PowerPoint slide deck, so I could take some of the knowledge from what he laid down and use it in my own marketing. And just because of that, you know, it's made a difference in what I do and just how I look at things, as well as all the other experts that I learned from, as well as the books that you've seen us review previously. But we want to get to the exciting part, and you know, I forgot to mention earlier, but I'm sure you're looking at the scenery of London. I think Adam you can just slide that in behind the scenes, and I won't notice that we're in India and we've come to sunny old England. Anyway, the point I want to get to now, guys, is the review. What's the rating? What's the rating? For me, this book is a very powerful book, and we have reviewed some amazing books on this show already. But you know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it to Russell. 10 out of 10. If you want to find out about online marketing and you want to get a bit more information, this is the book to start that journey, guys. Check out .com Secrets, another fantastic book. This is like the glue, the cement in between what he laid out in .com Secrets. .com Secrets was more the tactics. This is getting into more strategy. And if you're serious about marketing your business, you need to know strategy first, then get into the tactics, guys, because then it makes more sense and your message is way more powerful. So just want to say thank you for watching another book club review. It's Leon Street from businessownerelevation.com, and I'll catch you on the next book review episode.